Hello, welcome to another episode of Okay Karen.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, let's get started. So today, before we get started, first, Betsy, you have any shout outs?
Shout outs. I mean, just our
Super fan?
regular fans, everybody. Katie is listening from Minnesota.
She did comment on our shots, which I was actually expecting some more comments. I was kind of surprised.
Maybe they stopped watching before we got to some of the details Angela was giving away.
Maybe they did. Good for y'all.
So shout out Katie Jean-Boubong.
Yes. I'm glad
as
you
Angela
said her last
says,
name.
Katie from Minnesota. That's what Angela calls her.
That's how you were in my phone, Katie. Katie from Minnesota. Okay, so good for the shout outs. That was great.
That was it.
That was it.
Okay. All right. Let's move. We need more people commenting and giving it. We need suggestions. That's the thing. So y'all need to like the video. You need to subscribe if you haven't, which you probably have.
Please do subscribe.
You really should have, because it just needs to be done. And you need to let us know what you want to hear us talk about. It could be anything.
Right. We don't know what y'all want to hear.
Yeah.
You know,
and eventually, like 5 years from now, we may run out of ideas. But your topics, we would do right away if you give us a suggestion.
Yes.
You'll hear it probably within a month, because we would love to do whatever you guys want us to hear.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay.
So today's topic, we are going to do, we're going to talk about some of our favorite sitcoms.
Favorite sitcoms.
Yes. So this is not like Ozark or Sopranos. This is sitcoms, like
unless
30
you
minute
find those
sitcom.
funny. We don't find those funny.
There is nothing funny about Ozark or Sopranos. That's another episode, though, because y'all, those are near and dear to my heart, both of them. Okay, Sopranos more than Ozarks. But so what we're going to do is just kind of start now and work our way back and just throw some stuff out that we like. I will say kind of what started the idea for this episode.
Is Angela's obsession. She has an obsession.
I do. It's Schitt's Creek. Now, I am not cursing, so Mama, calm down. It is Schitt's. SCHITT''S. I think it's 2 T's.
It is.
Y'all, it is so funny. It is the dad from Eugene Levy. Is that his name? How do you say it?
Yes, that's his name.
And he's the dad from American Pie. It is the mom, Moira is her name on the show.
Character name.
She's the mom from Home Alone, and she's in Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
She's also in a lot of other stuff, but sorry, those are what you're going to know her from.
Catherine.
Leslie is going to kill me.
Yeah, she is, and I should.
Catherine O'Hara.
There you go.
Yes, I feel like I get a prize.
You do get a prize. Take a drink of wine. You just take a drink of wine. Pour yourself another glass. Although I gave you the first name, so
yes,
I'm going to have some of my Diet Coke.
The son is David, and he is Daniel Levy.
Yes, the actual son
of Eugene Levy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sister in the show is Alexis, and she is.
We don't know her actress.
Yes.
I've never seen her in anything else.
Annie Murphy.
Oh, wow! But you didn't know Catherine O'Hara? Or O'Hara. Anyway.
I don't know.
Okay.
So it is based on, so the family's very wealthy in LA, and they mess up, their tax guy messes up, and they lose everything. The only thing they get to keep is a town the dad bought for the son, called Schitt's Creek, because he thought it was a joke, funny. Mm-hmm. And the government was like, it's worth nothing, so y'all can keep that. So they moved to this town. And it is the funniest show.
So all the characters in this family, the mom, the dad, the son, and the daughter, are just over the top characters.
So over the top.
I mean, every one of them is just hilarious in their own character mode. And the mom is a washed up actress, but she doesn't realize she's washed up. She thinks she's just the best thing. The dad is probably the most sane, actually. So they live in a really dumpy hotel that they own,
called the Rosebud.
Yes, because her last name is Rose. And yeah, it's just really funny. The character's really funny. The way they talk is funny. And of course their outfits are over the top, especially the mom. She has these crazy wigs and crazy, like, and they go into this town and everybody is like small town, like, who are you? So
And
a
yeah,
lot of the first season is just them in a small town and realizing, like, where are we going to get our coffee, kind of thing. Like, they're living in a dumpy hotel and all in one, like, suite together, and the children are adult children, by the way. So yeah, it's just
the
a
mom
funny show.
has, like Betsy said, wigs, and she calls them her, she has them all on the wall and they all have their own name. David,
You
even
can't
though
even
they're
say
in
it
this,
without saying David.
it's the
David.
way the sister says his name, just David. It
David.
is
Yeah.
so, I'm telling y'all, if you watch it, it's on Netflix.
It is now.
So
Yeah,
if
it was
you
originally on Pop TV. It's
Pop,
Canadian.
yeah, it's Canadian. So if you do watch it, it's only like 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's a great supporting cast. We just gave you the four main characters. Actually, one of the girls, Twyla, is Eugene Levy's daughter in real life. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really a family affair.
Yeah, so we think it's pretty funny. There's 5 seasons out on Netflix right now. I'm guessing there will be more coming because it's funny.
No, they're done.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, this final, I'm just going to say, with the wedding, that was the final season.
I haven't seen
Yes.
it. Why did you say with the wedding? You just spoiled
you don't
it.
know who's getting married.
I can take a guess.
Well, you could be wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wonder who it could be. Okay. All right. So that's one that Angela, anytime we talk about podcast stuff and TV stuff, she's like, we got to talk about Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
So she just is really funny.
I do need to shout out Leslie, because Leslie got me into watching Schitt's Creek. And when she told me about it, I was like, what? And she just kept on and on and on and about how funny it is. And I finally was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And I couldn't stop watching it. I watched the whole first season. Yes, Leslie.
Also, and I'm going to say this. I think Leslie is at super fan status.
Yes, I think she is too.
I think we
can move her up there.
Also, she needs to be a guest sometime because she knows more about TVs and movies than we do.
She knows
way more about movies.
Yeah. Every movie that I'm like, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I'm like, but I bet Leslie has. And sure enough, she's like, she's commenting. It's not good. Yeah, she has seen everything.
And she's definitely make fun of you for not knowing Catherine O'Hara's name.
She's going to kill me. But I will say, we planned a trip with another friend to Canada just to go see Schitt's Creek.
And oh, really?
It was supposed to be to Toronto. You don't pronounce the T at the end. But then we ended up going to Montreal for some reason. So we didn't see anything with Schitt's Creek.
I love how Angela just like is along for the ride for pretty much anything. You went to Canada with me too. And I quote, why are we going to Canada again? And I said, to see Canada. And you were like, are we doing that? Do we need to do that?
No,
so you have changed. You have become more cultured, Angela, in the last 15 years.
I think the direct quote was, we're seeing all 50 states, the U.S. And we're like, okay. And then you're like, should we do all the Canada, what are they, provinces or something? And I was like,
provinces.
And I was just
I'm not going to ask you how many there are. We'll just keep moving with
there's like 13 or something.
That's pretty good, Angela. Good for you.
How many are there?
How many have you been to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can tell you how many where I have been in Canada.
Okay.
So,
that's not bad.
Yeah. So
you could identify it on a map.
Yeah. Big city, big places. Oh, I've been to the capital, Ottawa. We're getting way off track here, though.
Let's rein it in here. Okay. Schitt's Creek. Yeah. Let's move on.
Schitt's Creek.
Now, that is something that's pretty current. And I
It's
don't feel
done,
that
but
there's a
it
lot
was
of,
really good.
yeah, I don't feel like there's a lot
No,
of comedies right now that are out that are my
no.
favorite. I do like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, okay. I think I would like it, but
I
I've
think you
never
would
seen
too.
it.
It's funny. And I don't know if it's coming out with a new season or not, but
What
it
it
had one last year. So,
is that on
it's
like
but
FX or something? Or FXX?
I think it was, and it switched from NBC or to NBC. No,
I don't
Fox?
know.
I don't really know. I'm sorry. I should know these things. My husband would definitely make fun of me for this. He's like, "How do you
I
not know
don't
what it's
know
on?" And I'm like, "Cause
why.
I watch it on an online streaming thing. I don't pay attention.
Right.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's what it's on my TV."
So I think I would like that. Yeah. I
Yes.
think
So it is really, really funny. You know, it has a guy from Adam Sandberg.
Sandberg.
Yes.
Yeah. I know who's in
And
it.
he's just a really funny, like, screwball kind of cop and doing pranks and, funny stuff most of the time.
And his
But
boss is always kind of yelling at him.
the supporting characters are really good also. Like, they're funny in their own element as well. So it's kind of like when you watch The Office. Sorry.
Excuse
When you watch
you.
The Office, it's not just that, like, there's 2 or 3 main characters and they're really funny. It's like all of the other little characters you get to know also, and they
Oh,
are very
yeah.
humorous. So I think you would like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So check it out. It's pretty funny, and it's
Okay.
got a lot of seasons. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of The Office, and it's not playing anymore. I mean, I don't know any sitcoms now. I don't watch like sitcoms.
I
I think
watched
we've had
some
this
recently.
discussion. What did you watch?
Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The
Yeah.
Good Place,
Yeah, I haven't
and
seen that.
Superstore. I didn't write them down as my list of really good ones though, because I watched them, but they weren't like they aren't something I'm going to go and rewatch, if that makes sense.
Mm,
Because my husband and I we'll rewatch a show just to have something like, oh, I'm folding laundry. I don't really have to pay attention
right,
to.
right.
And I'm not gonna. I can look away. I already know what the plot is.
Yeah, what's
And
about to
so
happen?
yeah, and so those aren't ones that I'm probably ever going to rewatch. Um, yeah. So
So, one
The
show
Office
that
is
I
hands down probably my favorite ever.
really, The Office is your favorite?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know what my
Parks and
favorite
Rec
would
would be a
be.
close second.
Oh, and I've never seen Parks and Rec. I think I've seen one episode of it.
Yeah, it's definitely one where
Um,
you have to watch it and from the beginning to know the characters. If you just hop in the middle, it's not like Seinfeld where you're like, oh, that's funny, a random episode,
oh,
or I feel like
right. Well,
Scrubs. I don't know if you ever watched Scrubs, but that's
I
one that I could
haven't,
just
but
watch like
one of the
randomly.
doctors, yeah, he tells me like, I can't believe you haven't seen Scrubs. It's so funny.
Sean and I are
Um,
rewatching it right now.
really,
Yep.
I need to watch that. But I think like Seinfeld, I got on that bandwagon much later, and
Yes.
everyone was just like Seinfeld, 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 and my whole family, it's kind of still in high school, and we were like, what? This is what? But then we sat down and kind of watched it a couple episodes. It is, I think that's what our podcast is about. Nothing.
Again,
you
comparing us to
know?
Seinfeld. I'll see what the Bauer boys think about this one.
It is, I mean, we don't know what we're going to talk about. We kind of have an idea, but stuff
Yeah.
just comes out of our mouth.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think that's how that show was.
I think that should be our next tagline. Okay, Karen, and then underneath in quotes, stuff just comes out of our mouth. That's going to get a lot of people to subscribe.
Who knows what's going to come out of our mouth? I know.
Stuff just comes out of our mouth. You should click on it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So
but
I did not watch Seinfeld when it was actually airing. I watched it later.
Mm-hmm,
And I enjoyed
mm-hmm.
Seinfeld. I don't own it. I didn't buy it. And I haven't
either.
rewatched it in a long time. But it's definitely one where I can watch like 1 or 2 episodes. And after 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, oh, I'm done.
But it's so random and funny, It's just, I really enjoy Seinfeld.
And you can watch that if there's a rerun on TV. You can pick up. It doesn't matter what season. You can just watch that one episode, and it's funny on its own. You don't need to know where it is in the storyline, which I think is really good for sitcoms.
And when we went to New York City, we went to the Seinfeld restaurant.
We did. We did. We didn't
Yes.
eat in the cafe because,
No,
man,
we just
the
took a
wait
picture.
sometimes in these cafes is like, oh yeah, do you want to eat a sandwich here? It's going to be an hour. And we're like, we'll just take a
Yeah,
picture outside.
we just did that was good enough.
We're good. Probably the sandwiches are really overpriced as well.
I'm
So
sure.
Seinfeld,
Yes.
I did
You know,
appreciate, and you should watch Scrubs. I think that you
okay,
would.
I'll
I think
watch
you'd find
Scrubs.
find it funny.
So
Um,
there
and we're
is a
listening to a podcast about Scrubs from Zach. No, I can't remember his name.
Graph,
Yes,
Graph.
yes. Good job.
Yeah, I know my
And Donald
actors.
Faison. So it's called Fake Doctors, Real Friends because they've been best friends ever
Oh
since
yes,
Scrubs.
I did. I knew that he did a podcast. I didn't
So
know that the other guy was with him.
so apparently it's really, really popular, but I didn't know this. And I
Is
was
it
on
more popular than our podcast?
a little bit. Can you believe it? And so I was on
What?
I was on iHeart and it popped up, I don't know if it was suggested for me or whatever. And I was like, oh, Sean would probably like that because he really likes Scrubs. And it's a rewatch. So they do a podcast episode talking about starting with episode 1 of the show, talking about like, oh, this is when we were a cast, or this funny thing happened. Oh, she does really good acting. They have a bunch of guests come in. And so I downloaded the first like 3 or 4 podcast episodes when we went on a road trip, and Sean loves it. I felt like when you give somebody a really good
Oh.
gift and they really like it, I was like, yes, like score. I got, because he doesn't normally listen to podcasts like ever.
Oh,
So
not
he
even
really
ours.
enjoyed it. And every time we get back in the truck, no, not even ours, not even his wife's. Every time we get back in the truck and start driving, he just automatically start it. And I'm like, he really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, you'd like it. The other thing too, is that you think our podcasts are long. Some of theirs are like 70, 90 minutes, 110
What?
minutes. I'm like, what the
I
heck?
mean,
They
let's
just
be
keep getting longer
honest.
and longer.
We could do that, but we try to keep it to about 60 minutes for our audience.
Yes. Well, also some of theirs is, advertising. Which
Oh,
we
I
don't have to
don't know
worry
what that
about. So
is.
that's
Yeah.
good. We're the lucky ones. We don't have to worry about
Wah
the
wah.
advertising. So anyways, if you are a Scrubs fan, check out that podcast. I thought I'd just like stumbled across it and I'm like, this is so funny. It's so good. And then I found out later they have like millions of subscribers to this podcast, but whatever.
Yeah,
So
that
I
is a
like
little bit
something that
more than
everybody else
ours.
likes. That's okay.
So,
Yeah.
speaking though of good gift, I gave my brother last year for Christmas Everyone Loves Raymond, the whole
Oh, box
set.
set. Yeah. Of all the
He
seasons.
he loves that show. Loves it.
Really?
Yes. And
Huh.
actually I'll go over and he'll be watching it. Like he just, if there's nothing on TV, he just plugs it in. Cause you can see it like really early in the mornings. It's not rerun as much as, I mean, Friends, The Office, Seinfeld, they're all the time. But,
I have never seen, I mean, maybe I've seen one episode of the show. I've
oh,
never seen it.
really? It's
Have you
really
seen it all?
funny. Oh, I've seen a lot of it. Yeah. Especially now watching it, if I go over there, but
Okay.
it's also kind of, I mean, my cousin, Michael, his wife Brandy said it's like your family because they lived on the street also, and
Okay.
people would just come in and be like, "Oh, what are y'all doing for supper?" And she's like, "Well, I
That's what y'all do.
cooked." Yeah, she's like, "I cooked this little bit of food because I have just 4 of us," and we're like,
Yeah.
"What? You didn't cook? You didn't cook us stuff?" But it's and just coming in and out of the door without like you knock as you're walking in the door, and she's
Yeah.
like, now she's completely used to it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at first it was kind of a shock. So, but it's so, if you've never seen Everyone Loves Raymond, it really is funny. And I think it gets funnier as
After the
you
first season and you're
yeah.
There's a lot. Like I was going to tell you that with Parks and Rec. The first season of The Office is kind of dry. I feel like it's more like the British humor, the original Office, but then it speeds up and it's much better. And then the same with Parks and Rec. The first season of Parks and Rec is very like, I mean, it's almost tough to get through, but it'll pay off in the end. So you should definitely watch it.
It'll pay off. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, that's like probably my 1 and 2 right there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really
I don't
like
know
both
if I
of
have a
those.
1 and 2 on sitcoms. I mean, Schitt's Creek would probably be up there, especially they're like season 1 and 2 and 3. I mean, I mean,
And 4 and
and 4
5?
and 5.
Oh, okay,
But
yeah,
it is just, and it's so different too. I think that's
yes.
another reason.
It is very different than what we're used to seeing right now. So have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
I have not seen one episode of that. Is that the one with Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I've never seen anything of that.
Okay, so I watched that because Sean, my husband Sean, said he really enjoyed it, and so he was going to rewatch it. One of these 4 years that we were married, we were going to rewatch it, and so I showed it to him, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was pretty similar in the line of Friends. If you liked Friends, you'd probably like How I Met Your Mother. You know, it's
Is it the
20
same
somethings.
concept, like 3 and 3, inner
Not
the
exactly.
dating?
Yeah, but I mean, there's 3 guys and 2 girls that are friends, but one of the girl and guy have been a couple like since college, and they're just a couple the whole time. And so
Okay.
it's not necessarily like, yeah, but it's similar, because they're around each other all the time. They're all really good friends and things like that. But yeah, so if you the same kind of humor. Friends, I didn't get into Friends when I was in high school when it was coming out, dating myself. So I've watched more just reruns here and there. I don't think I've ever sat and like watched the whole thing through all of the seasons.
I think I've seen all of Friends, not though like play out
Oh,
when it started. Yes, but I
yeah.
have
Okay.
as I've become an adult. You
Did you
can
watch it
catch.
when we were young?
I watched some of it. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It came on
It was
Thursday nights.
it was kind of scandalous when we were young.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, the stuff they talked about, there was a lot more sexual jokes and things than other things on TV. I mean, think about what else was out. I mean, TGIF, that's the comedy. It was like Family Matters and
Oh,
Step by Step. It was
but TGIF was on Friday nights. That was a little bit before TGIF.
sure, but what I mean
TGIF
is
was like
like,
our
I mean,
elementary years.
but Friends was talking about like sleeping with people
Oh,
and
and they were like
yeah,
Rachel and Monica
masturbating,
had
and
like
they were just like, talking about
the
all kinds of
condom.
stuff.
There was one condom left, remember?
Yeah,
And like Richard and not Joey. Who
Chandler,
did Rachel? No,
Ross.
Rachel Ross.
Yeah.
They were just like standing in the hall, like, wonder who's gonna win this. And Monica and Rachel. Yeah, it was.
So yeah,
But we
there were some
were
things that at that time was like surprising for TV and for the
yeah.
hour it was on because it was on like at 7 or 8. So
But Friends also had like crazy guests that made
yes,
appearance. You know, who
yes.
can bring in Brad Pitt or Reese Witherspoon? Those are well Brad Pitt, no, he was big at that time.
Well, and at the time, I feel like movie actors did not do like cameos on TV shows very often.
Right.
Now you see it more,
Yeah.
and musicians, you see them like pop on and
Oh
like do
yeah,
a
that's
random thing,
true.
But I didn't see it a lot back then.
Because also back then you were like a TV actor or you were like a movie actor.
And
Now it's
now
like yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's like I definitely think movie actors back then it was like you're gonna do something on TV, kind of like
Yeah.
sticking their
Like
nose up
looking
to it.
down at them.
But now I don't. It doesn't seem like it. But there's also so much crossover now because like Netflix original movies. I mean, Sandra the Bird Box or the is that it? The Bird Box?
No. Is it? I don't know.
I think that's it.
It's the
The
bird
one
something. I want to say Birdcage, but that's Robin Williams.
that's a completely different movie. I think it is that. Anyway, the one where they
You
have
might
to
be
be
right. Yeah,
blindfolded.
I think it is maybe Bird Box. I
And
don't
that
know.
was
I didn't watch it,
huge. I mean, now it's
obviously.
like, okay,
Oh,
Netflix
yeah.
and Amazon have their own studios and are making movies that are like award-winning movies, so it's completely different than it was with
Right.
just cable TV. I mean, let's just face it, none of the like Lifetime original movies were winning like major awards
Or Hallmark.
or Hallmark,
I love me some
or
Hallmark.
ABC after school special. For sure not. Because the
So,
acting was terrible. Okay, so moving
yeah,
on.
that's about all something kind of new that's on rerun all the time is The Big Bang Theory. Have you seen that?
I've only seen like half of like 2 episodes at different times.
Really?
Okay, so lately I've just been really annoyed by the laugh track. And I'm like, oh, it has a laugh track when people laugh. Does Big
What
Bang
is a
have one?
laugh track? I don't know
It's
what
when
that
they
is.
play, they push a button and everybody's like, ah ha 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 ha. They like add in laughter to try and
Wow,
get the
Karen,
audience.
calm down.
You know what
I
I'm
don't.
talking about? You've never
Yeah,
heard of
but
a laugh track?
I mean, I don't know if that annoys me because normally I'm probably kind of laughing at that point
Well,
too.
that's their goal. But sometimes they do it at everything. So it's like it's not even like they like move the
Yeah.
glass over and there's like ah, and then they do this and like ah, or like somebody walks in the room and they're like ah, and I'm like
See, oh my
stop.
God, you got me. It works for me.
So I mean, they're imitating if it was in front of a live audience.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
yeah. No, I do like Full House was in front of a live audience.
Yes, I prefer that.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like it does seem, but this is just like anyway. So and I don't
So
even know if
I
they have
don't
one for
yeah.
the Big Bang Theory.
I don't know
I
if
don't
they
think
do
it's
either.
live audience, is it? It might
But
be. I don't know.
I have no idea. But
But
it's
you enjoy
funny.
it. You do like
Yeah,
it?
I did like it. Yeah,
I
I
haven't really
liked it.
seen enough.
It's I think give it some time. I mean, Shelton, then they did like a spinoff when he was a little kid, and I haven't seen one episode of that. But
Yeah, I don't
some
know
people
that
like
one.
it.
I don't know. The
Um,
super fans might like it. So
yeah.
anything else that's kind of current?
Not on my list. Like I mentioned, okay, I have not seen Fuller House, but I love me some Full House when it
You'd
was
probably like it.
TGIF. Have
My
you seen
sister was
Fuller
watching
House?
some of it. Shout out Jenny, super
Really?
fan. And she was telling me it's so cheesy and so
I'm
much like the
sure.
original. She's like, it's so much like the original.
But the
So
original to me is not cheesy. Do you think it's cheesy now?
if
Is
you
it cheesy
watched it,
now?
if you watched it now, you would be like, it's just
But Uncle Jesse,
okay. But if you think about it, just watch it now. It's looking back, it seems so weird because comedy was so different then. Like Jesse walks
yeah.
in and he's like, "Have mercy," and
I
everybody laughs.
know.
Like it's just like,
Or they swoon. Like,
yeah, yeah, and it's just exaggerated, And we've come to a different style of comedy now. Compare that to The Office, where the jokes are
oh
all
yeah,
subtle and people are kind of like looking at the camera but not, and like it. It's just like it's just a very different style of. I
it
mean, think about
is.
Family Matters with Urkel. I
Oh,
mean,
I
the
know. I
the
love Steve
comedic
Urkel.
the comedic character, the comedy guy comes in. It's just ridiculous. His pants are up to here and he's like, wah, wah, like, did I do that? And it's just
Did
every
I do
show,
that?
something really like
Glasses. Yeah.
over the top. And now, if you watch that, I mean, now it would feel like I'm watching Disney Channel if I watch Family Matters. You know what I
If you
mean? Like the
watch,
characters are
yes.
just over the top, like they are
But
for
that
like
was
the
so good. Full
preteen shows.
House, Family Matters, Step by Step.
Uh-huh.
That was all on Friday night, and it
Mhm.
was a good lineup. There was another one. What are we missing that was in that?
Dinosaurs?
Stop.
No, Dinosaurs was on TGIF and it is awful. Awful.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Perfect
tough.
Strangers. I like Perfect
Oh,
Strangers.
Perfect
Alf?
Strangers was good.
Was Alf on
Oh,
the lineup?
no, Alf was
I tried to
on
rewatch Alf and
NBC.
I made it through one episode and I was like, this
But
is
we loved Alf
but
growing
how
up.
did we like I could
I
see
don't
because we're
know.
kids, but how did adults watch this show? It's just so like corny and
Yeah.
I
And
felt like I was watching I don't know. Dinosaurs is worse than Alf.
oh, Dinosaurs wasn't that long. Was it? It wasn't like that many
Oh
seasons.
no, I don't think it was that many
Yeah.
seasons. I don't remember what else was in the
Because
TGIF
what
lineup.
else can you do about dinosaurs? You
Well,
know?
they just did everything we normal did. Have you ever seen a very special episode of whatever? It's on YouTube. It has a channel and they do, and now a very special episode of um, Saved by the Bell or Dinosaurs. And they basically talk you through in like 3 minutes a super ridiculous one. There's
Oh
one from
yes.
where Boy Meets
You've
World, where one of them accidentally joins a cult. The dinosaur one
what?
is the son is on steroids and grows like these big spikes and like yells at everybody. But they're all ones where they're like trying to teach lessons.
Yeah. But so
It's really
bad.
funny. So look that up. A very special episode of, and then they
I
have
might not.
different ones.
I'll
No,
be
it's really funny.
honest.
Did you like Zach Morris's Trash when I showed you that?
Yes.
See,
But here's the thing.
Zach
I
Morris
love
is
Zach
trash.
Morris. I love Saved by the Bell. I love Zach Morris. I loved I even watched it when they kind of went to college, which was not good.
So you already know these plots that Zach does, and
Oh,
then they like recap
yes.
it in 3 minutes and tell you like he's a really terrible human being.
He's
It's
not a
funny
good person. Yeah.
because he is, but he was like the most loved character.
But you know who else was kind of like that? Growing Pains.
Yeah.
What was Kirk Cameron's character name?
I don't remember.
But remember his friend? What was his friend? Boner.
Boner, yeah.
What like what was Mike? No, it wasn't Mike. Jason?
Are you trying
I'm
to think
just
of the actor's name that played Boner?
No, I'm trying to think of Kirk Cameron's
I don't
character's name.
I don't think it matters, Karen.
It doesn't, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm just going to start
Um,
naming some guy's name. Sam. What's his
We're
name?
just gonna listen. You just keep going.
Luke.
Anyway, another thing you guys should look up, listeners, is on YouTube you can find the channel called Zach Morris's Trash. They recap an episode where Zach is ridiculous, and they also, in a 30-minute episode of Saved by the Bell, there's like 10 different plots. I don't know how they did this in 30 minutes. There's a lot going on, and it says Zach Morris's Trash. I watched these with my husband, who never really watched Saved by the Bell, and he said he saw a few episodes here or there, but he didn't watch it like we did. And he was like, I don't understand. Like, isn't like he's supposed to be like the main character? Like he's like the good guy, right? Like he's like the. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, but he just does terrible stuff all the time. I'm like, but it doesn't seem that way in the episode. Yeah. Like we never realized that he was doing ridiculous things, Okay, so those are YouTube things. Sorry, I'm off topic, but people need to know this. Okay, so some things that are a little older. Well, The Office is a little older, and Parks and Rec.
Everything we just named is a little older.
Yes, well, way older. We were talking about Growing Pains here and Alf. Okay, so some things. The New Girl. Did you ever watch The New Girl?
I watched a little bit of it. I did, and then I don't know if I lost interest or if I just was done. I don't remember.
I think you'd like it now. It's on Netflix. And this is the thing that's interesting. Zooey Deschanel is her character, which is what it's called, The New Girl, is not my favorite. She's kind of like, she's a teacher and she's kind of an overzealous like middle school teacher. I can relate to that. But she's not that funny. But the guys that she lives with, she ends up moving into this apartment.
With 3 guys?
With 3 guys, yeah. Mm-hmm. And their characters are great. Like, I just love all of the guy characters. And so it just goes through their life, and they're dating, and they're getting new jobs, and just different things. Kind of like a Friends thing. But I really enjoy the characters, and I think you'd like it if you give it another chance. So, just saying.
I might.
Don't expect to like Zoe that much, because she does a lot of things that you're like, I don't know about that. Okay. So there's that. And then also the Mindy Project.
Oh, I did watch some of that. Yes, I did. But it wasn't long.
It's only a few seasons. It's on Hulu now. If you have Hulu, or I don't know, maybe you can
somebody
record it. I don't know. Anyway, so the Mindy Project is cute. She's a doctor, a female doctor. She's an OBGYN. And
it is funny. She was in The Office.
Yes.
And she actually wrote for The Office. I think, did she write for Saturday Night Live also? I think she did.
I don't know.
Mindy Kaling.
Yeah.
I've read her book.
Did you like it?
Okay. I did.
Okay. Good. So anyway, if anybody wants to watch that one, it's humorous. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. Again, the characters are funny. The guy that she ends up dating, like their relationship is funny. I remember there's one episode we must have been watching it together, where you just died laughing because
she got punched in the face.
No, it was something with his pants and her pants. Like she got up in the morning.
Oh, yes. And he
put her pants on by accident.
He put her pants on. Yes. And she was like, oh, this makes me feel really good. You can fit into my pants.
And he's like, ooh, I like the straps. Like these are, and she puts a pillow to her face, and she's like, oh my God. Like, she's like, this is the worst day of my life. You should not be able to fit in my pants.
Take them off. And he's like, wait, but these are nice. And she's like, get out of my pants.
She was so mad. And I thought it was funny because I was like, yeah, no girl wants
That's
to be
how
like,
girls feel.
my jeans look
Yes.
better on you. First of all,
Right.
like,
Or first
I
of all, you
prefer
can
that
fit
you
into my
can't
jeans.
fit in my jeans. Let's just
Right.
pretend that. Okay.
Let's start there. Yes.
And I have to pretend that because Sean has worn blue jean shorts of mine before to a costume party.
I'm not going to say anything.
Short. They were real short. His boxers were showing underneath. But he was not the only one. He had two other friends there that showed up like that.
That wore your blue jean shorts too?
No, one of them had his girlfriend's shorts on, and they were even shorter. And he's like a foot taller than Sean. So
what did they go as? Daisy Dukes?
Yeah, no, it was like a Western theme something party just with their friends, and they were all.
We couldn't get any other shorts.
Oh no, it was intentional. They had their cowboy boots on with them, and like a button-up like plaid shirt. And so they're like, one of the guys showed up with those shorts on, and Sean's like, oh, I gotta wear your shorts. And I was like, oh God, I felt like Mindy. I was like, please, Johnny, you can't fit in my shorts. And he's like, well, give me the biggest pair. I'm like, they're all about the same size. It's
yeah.
Like
what does he think we have?
These are 18s and these are 10s.
You're not Old Navy. You know? Good grief.
Oh my goodness. That was good, Karen. So
okay, back to our show.
So back to the Mindy Project.
How much time do we have? Okay.
We have time.
Yeah, because I just have older stuff. So you go ahead with some.
Okay,
some
so
more
the Mindy
recent.
Project. Let's move on. And then 30 Rock. Did you ever watch 30 Rock? So 30 Rock.
No, I didn't. But when we went to New York, I was like, Rockefeller.
There's 30 Rockefeller. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are pretty much making fun of themselves. So they have like a comedy show that comes on, and they have these crazy actors that like do all these sketches. So they're kind of making fun of like an SNL type show. But it's all behind the scenes. So she's dealing with the main Liz Lemon, who is
that Tina Fey?
Tina Fey. Thank you. I'm like, I can't think of anyone's name tonight.
I read her book too. It's really funny.
Yeah. So she's hilarious. And so she's the head writer, and she's trying to work with all these other writers, and this isn't allowed and this is allowed. And then they have like, they're forced to do like products in the skits to like make money. And it's just it's a good dynamic. And then what's his face? Alec Baldwin. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not good with names tonight.
Man, I don't know. I'm like,
I got you, Karen.
Hey, well, I thought Alec Baldwin. I'm like, no, what's his brother's name? No, that's him. Okay, anyway.
Steven is his brother.
Steven? Oh, I would have never come up with that. I would have been like Alec Baldwin's brother, whoever his name is. Anyway, so they are really good together, and they're funny. And the characters are kind of over the top. So it's another one where I can watch like 2 episodes at a time. Then I'm like, I want to watch something else. The Office, I could just sit and watch and have in the background. For 4 hours, and I wouldn't care. But this one, like, it's just so much that I'm like, okay, we need to chill out a little bit. So 30 Rock is really funny, and I think that you would like that one also. I think you'd laugh at some of the jokes. Tina Fey's character is definitely something you would laugh about, because she makes fun of herself a lot and just does like really just. They make jokes about her and her lifestyle and just different stuff. It's funny. I think you'd like Tina Fey in that. Okay. All right. And then I have 2 older ones that are kind of obscure. So what do you have? You go now.
So, I mean, I go back to old ones like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that was a good one. I didn't even think about that one.
I could do the whole thing. Well, this is a story.
But your phone's going to die soon.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do it. Nor can I sing. So I'm not going to do it. But I loved Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and can still watch it to this day. They did change the moms, which is kind of weird because you're like, y'all change the moms and think we're not going to notice. But I like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Mad About You. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I didn't really watch it, but it was always one that I was like, I want to watch that when I get older, because I feel like I was too young for it. Like I didn't get a lot of the jokes.
Oh, okay.
When did you watch it? How old were you?
I mean, when it was playing, because I don't know if it even...
Was that in high school?
Maybe.
Yeah. I was too busy with 90210.
Oh, don't even go there. I didn't miss an episode of 90210. So another one that is still on to this day is The Simpsons.
I never got into The Simpsons.
So I watched it when it first came on, but I mean... I've aged, and that Lisa girl still has her pacifier.
No, Maggie, the baby.
baby. Yeah. So no
I
one
guess you
has
did.
aged in this
No
Simpsons.
one has aged.
Marge's hair is still as tall as it can be,
Because
and
that's not what it's about. I mean, The
yeah,
Simpsons is not about any character development. You're not
it's
going to see
been on for
Homer
like
like
20 years.
Homer become a better man, or like Bart like stop, being
No.
Bart about everything. So
Yeah.
that's definitely just about like, topics and funny things like right now. It's not about like, any kind of character growth or anything. So I never got into
Also,
Simpsons. I know people that are dedicated fans for the last 20 years, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's a long time. I have not seen the Connors, but we used to watch Roseanne when it first came out.
The new Roseanne.
No,
The old Roseanne.
like
Did you
the
watch the
old
updated
Roseanne.
Roseanne that came out last year or no?
I don't know. I don't think I did. I think I just, and I'll be honest, when like Roseanne a long time ago, when they won the lottery, that's when we kind of stopped watching it. And then Dan died, and then it was all a dream sequence or something. It was weird.
Oh my gosh, I
But
did not know that.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I feel like
That was the
Roseanne
old one.
originally, when it came out, was like edgy. It was like an edgy
Oh,
sitcom.
yeah.
But looking back on it now, if I watch episodes, I'm kind of like, they're not really that edgy. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-mm.
they just seem like an American Family. It doesn't seem that edgy, which I
But
think
it
was the
was
point
like,
of the show, was like, this is real life.
what's her
Like,
name? Her sister Becky got beat up.
yeah.
That was a big deal. You know who was in that show? Who was in there? George Clooney. He was one of the boyfriends, Becky's boyfriends. Of course, she had not Becky, the sister, Jackie.
Yeah. That's really funny.
And
I didn't know that.
yes, he was there. He was their boss for a while, and he was very young, way before ER times.
Another edgy one that I think was before Roseanne was Married with Children,
Oh yes,
right? And it was like
yes.
just like scandalous sitcom. But I feel like if we watched it now, there would be like, there's
It would
nothing
be nothing.
scandalous
I
at
know. I
all.
know.
It's like, oh, Christina Applegate's wearing a short skirt. Ooh, she's more
Right,
covered than
right.
like everybody else on TV in 2020.
But it was everyone's character, like Peggy and Al, and
Was just
how they
over the top.
talk to each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was the
Yeah.
same, like lots of sarcasm from Al. And the same
Mm-hmm.
with Roseanne. That was the thing, is like you saw people like in a family that were like sarcastic and rude to each other, and whatever.
Right.
And also had some real things happening, which you didn't always see in sitcoms.
So I have a couple really old ones, and
Okay,
I
first.
needed.
Oh,
Go
go ahead.
ahead. Well,
Okay.
I was going to shout out my mama, because when I was like,
Oh,
"Hey, we're doing this show. It's sitcoms. Do you know any sitcoms?" She gave me some names of movies
hi,
or
Mama.
shows, and one of them was I Love Lucy.
Classic.
So it's a classic. I think that should be on all of our lists.
Yes, definitely like physical comedy,
Mm-hmm.
lots of expression, like it just, which was classic at the time. I mean, I feel like if you were in a college class that had to do with like comedy over the years, they would show you like this progression of how things have moved, and that would be like iconic. Like
Yeah.
this is what was happening at the time, which is great. So I
Um.
was there another one you want to say? Because then I want to show two. I want to
There's
talk about two that nobody knows yet, and I got
there's
to tell
two
them about them.
more.
Okay.
One is Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
Loved Gilligan's Island.
Did
I
you? I
loved
didn't.
it. Yes, you
I
didn't.
liked I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched.
Oh, I like both of those
And
too. I
I was like
forgot
in
about those.
kindergarten, and I remember like
Yes,
half day kindergarten, and I would like eat lunch and watch I Dream of Jeannie and then go take a nap.
but I loved all those. I loved all of them. And then
Yeah.
the other one that still actually plays now is Golden Girls.
Yes.
Thank
Golden
you
Girls
for
still plays
being
now.
a
Yeah.
friend. Yes, so much fun. And I love Golden Girls. I think that popularity is still, I see people wearing like Shady Pines or, dress like Dorothy.
Oh, it's definitely made a comeback
Yes, huge.
amongst a younger generation. And now, like, believe me, that like middle schoolers and high schoolers are watching The Office for the first time. And for
It's
them,
crazy.
it's like us rewatching Cheers or something that our parents watched.
Yeah,
And
which
we were
I didn't
like,
watch
oh,
Cheers. It's on the
watch The
list,
Office.
but I
We
didn't watch it.
tried to watch Cheers. Sean and I did, because we were like, let's go with one that's like a classic that neither of us have seen. We made it
Mm-hmm.
through like a season and a half, and we both just kind of were like, Do we want to invest any more time in this?
Really?
Sorry,
But it
Jewish
was so
fans.
popular.
It
I
was really
know.
popular. We just couldn't get into it. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so two that I have that you probably haven't heard of. One is called My Boys, which is about a female sports writer and her like group of friends. She has like 4 or 5. Jim Gaffigan is in this before he was really famous. He plays her
Yeah.
brother, and he's in like every episode. So it's like her and 4 guy friends. And she's in Chicago, and she kind of narrates it, kind of like Sex in the City. So she like tells a story with each one
Is
and kind
this
of like
on
says,
now?
no. This
Oh,
was
okay.
probably
Yeah.
20 years ago,
Mm.
25, 20 years ago, 15
Yeah, I've
years ago.
never heard of it.
So I looked it up. It's free on Crackle, the Crackle app. If you guys, that's free on your smart TV. Get Crackle app and watch My Boys. And
Wow.
I
Both
really
of
liked
them
it.
I've never heard
The Crackle app.
of.
You should look it up. It has a bunch of free like shows and movies on it. And some of them are
Mm-hmm.
good. A few of them.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And okay, so that's called My Girl. So if you're interested, look it up, see what the summary is.
You
And
said
I
it
think
was
you'd like
called
it.
My Boys.
My Boys. Why did I say My Girl? I'm sorry. It's called My Boys. Look up the summary,
Okay.
see if you want to watch it. Okay, Karen. And then
Okay.
the last one I wanted to say is called Better Off Ted. I made Sean watch this, and I think there's only 2 seasons. So it's short, but he really liked it. I made my family all watch it. My sister still quotes it. Shout out Jenny. There's a lot of memes or a lot of GIFs about it. So it's called Better Off Ted, and it's
What's
about
in
this guy
that?
named what's the girl's name?
Why did I ask? You're
The
not
girl
doing
that's
good with
married to
names
Ellen,
tonight.
Portia.
Portia? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever I don't know what her other name is. But anyway,
I think it's
she's
like
in
Del
it.
Rossi or something like that.
She's
But
in
I
it.
don't know.
And then a bunch of people you don't know, I don't think. But anyway, it's about a guy and he works for this big company who's like really, the whole company's really unethical. But it's really funny. And I think that you should watch it. And I think you should stop making that face, Karen, because everything else I tell you that you would like, you like. Am I right?
I don't know.
Angela?
The Bride and Prejudice, the Mormon version, was terrible.
I can tell you're going to like it. I did
It was
not tell you
written
to like it.
down. I wrote it down.
We talked about it and you were like, what? There's a Mormon version
It was
of
so
Pride and
bad.
Prejudice? I'm like, yeah, it takes place in Utah. So first of all,
we are probably missing a lot of sitcoms that people are probably going to be furious. Like, yeah, they mentioned this. Like Cosby Show's on my list. MASH is on my list. Yeah, I love the Cosby Show.
I totally forgot about the Cosby Show. That's a good one.
I never watched that 70s show, but it's reruns. Did you ever see that?
Just a few here or there. I didn't ever like watch it a lot, but I did think it was somewhat funny whenever I saw like, here and there things. Better Off Ted is on Hulu, by the way, for anyone who's interested in watching it, who believes me that it's funny, unlike Angela.
And also Andy Griffith.
Oh yeah, I didn't ever really get into Andy Griffith. Sorry.
It's so like wholesome. It's so different. Like Andy Griffith to Married with Children to like Friends, like such a range of sitcoms.
That's the thing. It's so weird how it's changed so much. That's what I think is
to like The Office. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Crazy.
I Love Lucy now, if a show like that came on, nobody would watch it. People are like, it has to be fast paced, it has to be in your face, it has to like our attention span and what we think is funny is not as simple.
So changed, yeah. Like the Golden Girls,
wholesome,
if you pitched 4 old ladies, because they're old, that live together, it would be like, wait, what? No.
Yeah.
But it works. It was great.
Yeah. Well, and
Betty White is
designing women too.
Oh, I love Designing Women. Oh, that's a good one. I forgot about that.
Wow. It was quite a reaction there, Karen.
Well, it's Southern, and I love when Julia Sugarbaker just like, she didn't like physically beat anyone up. She verbally just destroyed them. And they felt like this big. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the character
Delta
that
Burke
has the pig?
Delta Burke.
That's her, yeah.
Her
She's
sister.
a Karen.
Is it Suzanne? Was that her name? I forgot her name, but it's Delta Burke.
I have a cold. It's
okay.
Not COVID. I mean,
all right. So I think that's everything.
Yeah. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little rerun of sitcoms, present and past. Not that much present because I don't know. Let us know
out there,
if there's sitcoms that you are liking right now. We watch a lot of like docuseries and more dramatic stuff right now.
Yes.
And
which we do
movies-
have, and that we'll do an episode of dramas.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do that.
'Cause that's
And we
its
also
own
need to do
separate
another
thing.
episode of guilty pleasures that are not reality.
Yeah, I thought we just named them. I mean, what else is out there?
Oh, no, I mean like Gossip Girl.
I was going to include that in the drama section.
That's something that I don't want to admit to people that I watched
loved
all
Gossip
of
Girl.
it. That I watched all
saw
of it
every.
as an adult, like 3 years
Me
ago.
too. Like last year, I think.
Yeah, I didn't
Loved
watch
it.
it as a teenager or
No,
like a young adult.
I didn't watch
watched
it when it came out.
when I was nursing a baby and I was up all hours of the night. I'm like, I need something mindless. I also
But at
like that I could
least-
literally stop it in the middle of an episode. I wasn't like, oh, I have to see what happens. Like, let me finish this hour. I'd be
Yeah.
like, good night. Like,
Yeah.
so let's
So
not
that's
talk about
coming
that.
out. Not the next episode, because we'll
No, we got to
throw y'all out with
we
some
got to
other
do some
stuff.
with like personal and stories, and then we'll do something with books or something with movies.
And then we'll have another guest. Guest on
Yeah.
our show.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for listening today. Please, like what Betsy said, subscribe, like, comment, all of the above.
We need.
If you don't know how to,
suggestions.
ask
And
Betsy,
comment
because I probably don't either.
Comment and tell on if you're watching on YouTube, or just text us if you're listening to the podcast, and tell us what sitcoms you're watching right now, because we want to know what good is out there right now, what you find funny.
If
We
there
have
is
a lot
anything.
of sitcoms to watch right now.
True.
So
okay. So good night, y'all. Have
good
a great
night,
day.
everyone. Have a great day, and
Bye.
bye.